You guys ever wondered how these three dum-dums were able to put up a podcast? Well, how we did it is Anchor.fm. It's been crazy easy. First of all, it's free, and that's been helpful for us because we have no money. No monies. And it doesn't matter to them. They got all these creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They also distribute the podcast for you. And it can be anywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, like 6 other ones that I've never even heard of, but they're up there. I've never even heard of them, and our podcast is up there already. You can also make money with no minimum listenership. We got no listeners right now, and we've already started making a little bit of money. How cool is that? It's everything you need all in one place to make a podcast. Anchor.fm.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. As always, this episode is made possible by our local convenience stores, the misappropriation of history, and you. And now to your hosts, Justin Hammonds, Grant Bramlett, and Drew Shelnut.
What's up? What's happening, world? This is the 3rd episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. We had a 2-parter. Hope y'all enjoyed that series on old Benny Frank. But yes, it's 3rd episode. I'm Justin Hammonds. I'm looking at Drew Shelnut.
What is up?
And my boy Grant Bramlett.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, the Cool Guy crew. And
So you're not going to comment about my shirt?
I mean,
Every episode, he's talking about cool shirts.
I mean, the shirt's dope. Your shirt is
put on
dope.
a shirt.
And the button up is nice.
It's got
You
some
know what I'm
llamas
saying?
on it.
And
does.
the Truck Yard Bar joint is dope too.
I'm fine. It's just a t-shirt. I was playing it down to give Grant a little bit of light this time.
You know, he can shine through this time. That's a Cool Guy
I mean,
shirt.
sometimes I needed it, okay?
We'll give him that. We'll give him that this time. But this episode here today is actually about baseball. How about that? We're talking about sports. But it's about the ladies that took over for a minute back in the day.
They did their thing.
The beginning of baseball itself and the forgotten, the Negro League, if you will. And we're going to cover all that. But today, for the intro, we're finally getting to these childhood injuries, bro. Like we've dodged this long enough. Let's go ahead and just put it out there, man. Talk about our childhood and how wild we were. Because I believe we all 3 have at least 3 concussions before we were like 12.
Yeah, I actually learned that when we were talking about this episode. I didn't realize that all 3 of us had 3 concussions.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
Yeah. I think my 3rd one came when I was like 16. But anyway.
I think I stopped counting after 3, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got to start with Drew because, I mean, it was wild.
That's true. So when we were talking about it, we got this little shared document that kind of helps us keep all our facts together. And he jotted down Dances with Wolves / Yosemite Sam / 3-wheeler.
You know, like you are too.
And I just
like some true Alabama shit.
But let's definitely start off there because I just am very curious.
Yeah.
Very, very curious.
Okay, so to make it obvious of what I mean by Dances with Wolves, it's obviously a movie. I was really, really, really into Dances with Wolves.
Of course.
Because of Kevin Costner.
Waterworld was cracking.
Waterworld.
Love that movie.
Can you smell it? Great
The web
movie.
feet, bro.
Great, yeah. Oh shit, I do have web feet.
Yeah, there it is. That's real.
Damn it.
You actually have web
Yeah,
feet.
that's some Freudian shit. Anyway,
That's the connection.
no, but I would always go over to my next door neighbors, and they had a 2-story house with a badass little balcony on the back, which I thought was badass. Not so much, obviously, because I was back with my little tomahawk. Running around doing my little being a cool
Indian
cool little
cowboy joint.
wannabe, Indian Southern kid.
Being super PC. Yeah.
Yeah,
straight
all
up.
the PC.
Straight up.
Yeah. But I leaned up against the balcony to look out, and as I did that, I fell over. Well, the balcony was dry rotted, so I just fell through it. 15 feet threw a table into a chainsaw.
Good Lord.
Nice little concussion.
Luckily, that chainsaw was off, my guy.
Sometimes I kind of wonder.
Yeah. So them stitches to the head immediately. Jesus.
Oh, yeah,
Christ,
yeah.
bro.
And a 2.5, almost 3-day coma.
Jesus.
Week and a half ICU.
That's crazy.
That was the first one. Fast forward a whole month.
Oh, a whole month.
One whole month.
1 whole month.
28 to 31 days.
Yes.
Wow, we're
Yes. Could have been a leap year. I don't know. Not quite sure on that one yet. But I had a Yosemite Sam action figure that I really liked. I was playing with it, and for some reason I tossed it under the house. Well, trailer. No house here. And there was a little corner of the paneling under the trailer that was popped up. I crawled under there, got my little Yosemite Sam action figure, was coming back, and the roofing tacks that hold the paneling in,
yeah.
just right back in there again.
Punctured the same wound?
Same hole.
Oh, my God.
Same
bro.
hole. Yeah.
Super
Jesus.
awesome.
Pouring salt on the wound, if you will.
Yeah.
Fast forward
How long is this one?
a year.
Oh. at
We're
least you
keeping
gave
it in
yourself some
increments
time.
of like one kind
Yeah,
of a thing.
you gave yourself some time.
1
It's-
month,
yeah.
1 year. I'm riding on a 3-wheeler, super safe. You and you guys know.
the most unsafe, outlawed, banned vehicles, all-terrain vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Try to find a 3-wheeler right now.
Yeah. You can probably ride a Segway on an old country road before they let you buy it.
A fucking 3-wheeler, yeah.
That would be fantastic. Anyway.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about off-roading segways.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
Like
lifestyle.
building like body cages on them and stuff.
It's a lifestyle, bro.
Ooh.
That
It's
could
a
be
lifestyle.
Snorkels. Anyway, so I'm riding this 3-wheeler with my uncle.
Off-roading Segway.
Yes,
All right, go
yes.
ahead.
Another episode.
Yeah. We'll cover
But-
that too.
I'm sitting on the front of this 3-wheeler, essentially on the handlebars, right where the gas tank is,
Yeah, of
one
course.
of those old school guys. And he's sitting on the seat, and he's holding the handlebars, and we're going over the terraces and stuff, and we go through this, go up this one hill, a little too steep.
Yeah. Just a little
And I'm
bit.
like, okay, here we go. And he's just like, jump off. And I'm like, I don't know, dude, just, okay, here we go.
I'm with it. I'm just rocking it.
6 years old at this point. And it falls, the handlebar falls on my face right here on my right cheekbone and comes out right beside my eye.
So it punctures your skin, comes out your
comes out.
eye, on the side of your eye.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Play-Doh face.
We should have put like a gold standard on this episode. Jesus Christ.
So
Savage imagery.
I
out
spent another 2 days in a coma and another week and a half in the ICU. And I don't know what else I can say after that, I guess. I mean, I've had some other injuries after that, but I think I'm just going to
That
leave
was
it
the
there,
beginning.
guys.
That was the beginning.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're not a serial killer, my guy, because a lot of them kids had a lot of head concussions before that laugh is creepy as a. Oh my god! So you're saying maybe? Okay, that's a maybe.
Just room for improvement.
Oh, okay, interesting. Very interesting. Well, my concussions are a little lighter than that. I mean, my really first one came from like an Easter egg hunt at my great aunt's house, actually. And I was rounding a corner, just running, looking for Easter eggs. Ran straight into one of those old school gas pumps, a little green, fucking like weird gas pump things. Dome check, out. Woke up in my grandmother's bed with a fucking heat pad on my head, of course. Second one was bicycles, bro. Like me and all my homies from back home. Shouts out to Elba, Alabama. That's the hometown. We used to rock around the city on bicycles like no other, bro. We'd be across the city in 10 minutes. Like we thugged it. We thugged it. And, I got into BMXing, like the bike with the pegs and all that. Hip hop culture is all about like skateboarding, roller skating, beatboxing, rapping, graffiti. Like that was part of hip hop culture. And X Games was a big part of my younger life in the country boy. And we built ramps and all this shit. And this one hill next to my auntie's house, like that was the hill to get all the speed to hit a ramp or hit this ditch that just went down and came right back up. So we get this air and we do some weird tricks and all that. But I seen this backflip happen on X Games one day. And I was like, it's my time. It's time to try. I'm the chosen one. Yeah. It's time. So got on this hill right next to my Aunt Sandra's house. God rest her soul. Love her to death. And this ditch was in the yard of my Aunt Lynn. And I love her to death. Always will. And we're coming down this hill. And I'm like, bro, it's the backflip day. So I hit this ditch. I get maybe 10, 15 feet of air off this like ditch. We're going like 25 miles an hour on bicycles. You feel me? And it's this one snatch I do to like do the backflip. And unbeknownst to me, there's a second little jerk. It's a smooth like snatch you're supposed to do a backflip. And I did the one snatch. So the tires are parallel, like up to the sky. My back is parallel to the ground. And at that moment, I knew I fucked up. And I just fell straight on my back, and the handlebars went straight into my face. Oof. And there's a little mark somewhere on my left eye, I think. But I literally woke up like 6 hours later in my auntie's house with a heat pad on my head again. That was my second one. Third one was high school football. As I think we were playing Pike County, some hard hitting country homies, bro. Like they was out there with it for real. And my junior year, I think it was, I had a head on collision with one of these cats, and this was in like the second quarter, bro. The second quarter, right? It was head on collision, and I don't really come to or remember anything until the fourth quarter. And like I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I was
crazy.
out there. I don't know. I don't remember.
You were out there. You weren't in there. Yeah.
I don't remember nothing. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't come to the fourth quarter, and apparently we lost that game. It's our first loss of the season, I believe.
Yeah.
And probably because I was like out, but in. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember nothing, bro. And like watching film was like I was doing okay. I was missing some cues, obviously, because I wasn't all the way there.
Right.
But those are the 3 concussions I remember. I've lived the wild life since high school, but those are my childhood.
Ones to get.
So wild country dude, man, riding bikes and doing dumb shit. Yeah.
Well, if we're all talking about concussions, I mean, I can go over my 3 concussions.
Yeah.
But initially, I was talking about the time I got run over by a tractor.
Oh.
Which one do you guys think?
That's the tractor shit is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little more fun.
And,
Okay.
that's real.
Yeah, let's change it up a bit. I'm tired of these concussions. A tractor? Yes, please.
Yeah, tractor. What the fuck?
So
That's that
as
Mississippi shit.
I was just about to say, it's been brought up. I am from Mississippi. So we have a fair amount of land, and we were getting ready for dove season. So we take the tractor over to the land, plow it down with a bush hog, plant the sunflower seeds. They grow up, attracts the doves.
Yes, it does.
Bing, bang, boom.
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you right there. I heard dub season like.
That's later on in life for me personally, you know.
Okay.
Short-lived. Justin was there. Mm-hmm. Anyways,
Yeah. Gonna let that go. We're gonna let that.
I do need to clarify that I didn't actually get run over by a tractor. It was a tractor on a tractor trailer.
Oh,
So
type
those are
that's
2
got
wheels.
The 2 wheels that are right
yeah.
next to each other. Yeah.
so it's just a little heavier.
So we're done for the day.
A lot more still involved.
You know, we load the tractor up on the tractor trailer. We're pulling out kind of a thing. And I'm begging my dad to let me ride on top. You know, I'm 10 years old. It's a fun.
You're trying to ball out. I'm driving the tractor right now,
you know?
but I'm not. But I am.
You know, get to
'Cause
sing
I is.
Green Hills or something like that, you know, on the way out of there. And it was like, come on. He's finally like, okay. But it's not until we get to the first gate, right? We had 3 gates leading in to keep, you know, people out of our land.
Of course.
And he was like, it's not until we get to the first gate, and then you have to come to wait for me to come to a complete stop before you get off, right? So we're pulling up to the front, the first gate. Keep in mind, this is not gravel road. This is literally just dirt path in the middle of the
two
woods.
little ruts type vibe.
Right, exactly. And I broke the first rule immediately.
Of course.
By hopping right off, feeling all confident from my tractor driving
I'm
excursion.
up on high
you know?
right now. I'm gonna do what I want to.
We talked about Fight Club.
I got my little military, like secondhand steel-toed boots on, my old school like secondhand fatigues. You know, got me a can of Mountain Dew.
That's right. Do that, dude.
That's right.
Do boy. Nashville born. Tell you what.
Hop-balling off, real confident like, and I'm walking next to it, and the tree line is getting closer and closer to the little dirt
bottlenecking.
path. Right, it's bottlenecking.
Yeah.
And I'm easing closer and closer to it. Eventually, the front tire of the tractor trailer runs over my right foot, throwing me down onto my face. So kind of my elbows out at a right angle, pretty much. Then proceeds to run over my arm, and my arm gets sucked up in between those two tires.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
The 2 tires.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No.
Obviously,
Jesus.
I am screaming my head off. My brother comes running around. He grabs me by the left ankle, and he's just trying his best to just pull me out from
Yeah, and
underneath.
trying
the
to
whole
break your
situation.
spine.
I mean, he could have, or I could have had spinal problems. But he was 14 at the time. He didn't know what the hell
Young
was going on.
chiropractor.
He just panicked. He just panic mode. Oh my God, my brother! I need to save his life.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
So my dad, kind of jumps out, running around, swats my brother away, kind of a thing, and he stops. He assesses the situation and realizes he has to back over my
to
arm
get your leg,
Oh, no.
to be
your arm
able to
out.
get it out
Oh,
from
no.
in between those two tires.
Gangster.
So good for him for being able to handle such a horrible situation.
Good for the ground for being flat and giving a little bit to not
Yeah, right.
completely crush your damn arm.
You're
apparently.
telling me. Well, we'll
Yes.
get there. But he gets back in, backs back over my arm, comes back around. He kneels down, kind of like picks me up, cradling me in his arms. First time I've ever seen him cry, like boo-hoo sob cry. Obviously so.
Yeah, of course.
At this point, shock kind of kicks in for me, so I don't feel anything anymore.
Yeah, adrenaline's
I was
on a high, bro.
I think I need to go to the ER. And he's like, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Kinda
yeah?
like, yeah, right. So he unhooks the trailer, like very gently puts me in the back seat and just guns it.
Hauls ass.
I mean, we're just bouncing all around, and I'm just like catching air in the back seat, basically.
all that. Yeah.
We finally get to paved road. My arm is dead, completely numb. I don't feel it at all, but my right foot is killing me. So instinctively, almost, I take the boot off, and it feels a little better. And just out of curiosity, I reach in and I pull out the steel insole of the thing, and it's like you just twisted it.
The
You took
corkscrew.
one end of the thing, and just kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Nuts. Foot still hurts, and I look at the glass of the back window, and I'm like, well, that's a nice flat surface or whatever. So again, almost
Resourceful.
instinctually, I take my foot and I push it up against the back glass, and it just is a little kind of quiet. You feel it more than hear it. Just kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You reset your whole shit,
Oh,
bro. Yeah.
felt so much better.
your
Felt so
foot
much
back.
better. Fast forward, we get to the ER. They strap me to a gurney or whatever to pull me in, and I'm yelling about my wallet and my necklace or whatever. But more so my wallet. That's a lot more important.
Oh, you're
And
10
they're-
years old.
Yeah, I'm 10 years old.
And
And
you're
I'm like,
where's
don't lose my wallet. You need
Where's
to
my
make sure you
necklace?
have my wallet. Where's my necklace? It was a nice necklace.
Where
I
my
love that
shit
necklace.
at, bro?
And the doctors are like, all right, shut up, kid. And I'm like, no. It's really my wallet. They're finally like, here. And I pull out, talking about my 3 concussions in the past and my several other trips to the ER. I actually had a fast pass to North Mississippi.
like Disneyland,
Medical
nigga?
Center.
Like-
Pretty much,
Like
yeah.
skip the line?
Skip the line.
Disney status at a hospital. That's what I'm talking about.
All the health
Skipping the
insurance
line.
and all my personal insurance information, all that kind of stuff is on this card. So you literally just swipe it. I'm right back. I'm
you're
right
in
through
there.
the doors.
Ain't no paper filling out for me, kid. Y'all take y'all time with that. I'm going back here.
So funny enough, the doctor ended up telling me that I reset the bones in my foot
With the window?
myself.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
They didn't have to do it.
Just
Broke 4 bones
Appreciate
in my
that
foot.
guy.
We're still going to charge you for it, though.
Right.
yeah, right.
Broke 4 bones in my foot. Miraculously did not break any
Yo, I'm
part of my
got
arm.
ran over twice now.
Got run over twice.
Forward and backward. Didn't break it at all.
And that's
Now,
crazy.
the
Yes,
nerve
that's that
damage-
ground being soft.
Lots
That
of-
Mississippi red clay,
That's
boy.
right, red clay, I guess.
Yeah.
But the nerve damage is there still to this day. Like I can't really feel that part of my arm.
Of course. You're never going to feel that.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
That's wild, bro. That's some wild ass Mississippi shit right there. That's what happens in the backwoods of Mississippi. Little boys get ran over by tractor trailers.
Isn't that right?
Facts. We'll keep this thing going, man. Tell us what y'all think about those wild stories, man. If you have any stories that relate to that, email us about them at friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com.
Yes, please.
I remember it that time.
You did. You did a great job.
You
Email
did a
us
great
about your
job.
crazy stories, man. We might mention y'all in an introduction episode coming up soon. Also a Friends episode coming up soon because we recorded some wild shit.
Yeah, we're
the
gonna
other
have
day.
to do a lot of cutting.
Yeah,
out
we need
of
to edit that
things
out a
on
lot.
one.
Shouts
It'll
out to
be-
Brendan Shea and Sam Capasso for coming through the other night and recording some wild takes, hot takes.
That's right.
But we can keep this going with this foul play, A Lady's Way, and The Forgotten. But first, we're gonna get to the song of the day, and it's by the homie Grizzy over here.
Yeah, it was my turn.
Yeah, it's by Grizz.
This is a song that's just kind of been running through my head the last few weeks or so. And I didn't know why, because I feel like I haven't heard it in a long time. I loved it when it first came out. You know, a lot of people did. It was a radio
Huge
hit.
hit.
Yeah.
And he took your nickname from you.
He sure did. But, you know, to the point where I finally decided to look up the lyrics, which just like maybe the lyrics somehow snuck in.
You looked up lyrics?
Yeah, like maybe the lyrics
okay.
just subliminally just snuck into my brain, and that's why a song kept running through my head.
So all the songs we've done together before, and you looked up these lyrics. That's cool.
Yeah, right.
That's cute.
Because it's
Yeah,
for
all
me.
these lyrics I've written. Okay, cool. Let's go, man.
I read your lyrics.
It's okay. It's all right. No,
I
go
just
ahead.
don't read
Continue,
anybody
please.
else's
Continue,
lyrics.
please. We're going to talk about this after the episode.
It's pretty clear that the song is about like a romantic relationship that's kind of stuck in the ruts or whatever.
course,
but
of
there's
course.
some song, you know, the parts of it that we'll hear just in a second. I really was close to just doing the music and just that really awesome like drum beat
beat?
drop or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But you know, anyways, we'll listen to this for a quick second. Yeah, so we
Love that track, by the way.
I did too, man.
Classic shit.
That's actually one of those drum beats. When I first heard it, I was like, "Hell yeah, absolutely, hell yeah!" And then immediately was like, "Damn it,
Why didn't I come up with this?
I didn't come up with that. I didn't get to record
Why
that,
didn't I do this?
and I'm not going to be able to do it because people will be like, Psh, "You're just ripping off Grizzly Bear, Rio," you know."
Bro, same shit when I first heard Kid Cudi. I was like, I've been trying to... Shit. I was trying to do this.
Right,
You
right,
just
right.
did it, but kudos to you.
Yeah. Then, anyways, I felt like it kind of feels like, you know, our little social distancing pandemic, you know, keep your ass in the house unless you got to go out sort of a thing, you know, the routine malaise. I told you I would stay, all that kind of stuff. So it just really, it felt like it was kind of pertinent right now,
Got you.
you know. And quick shout out to Drummers. That's pretty much the Drummers band. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He's an excellent composer. He's the main arranger and writer of Grizzly Bear. And if anybody wants to come at me with some dumb drummer jokes, then I'm going to say, go listen to Grizzly Bear. Then.
Facts. Drew, look at this guy looking up lyrics.
Well, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's
You
kinda
see
weird.
this shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody hearing this?
Yeah.
The whole world's hearing this right now, but you hearing this shit?
He's
Looking up lyrics. Yeah, he's
The
looking
whole
up
world
lyrics.
doesn't know.
This is crazy. This is crazy. All right. Well, Song of the Day of the Week, SOD, 2 weeks by the band Grizzly Bear.
That's right.
Fire shit. I dig it with 2 shovels. But to get on to this main story, Foul Play, A Lady's Way, and The Forgotten.
By the way, that's a Drew title again. He's 2 for 3.
a gangster out
I'm
here.
starting to get jealous over here.
Yeah, he's a gangster. He's got it.
I'm going to get the next one. I'm going to try.
I thought it had wordplay down, but this guy's on different level.
You telling me?
Sneaking up with that bass player vibe.
Exactly.
You never know.
If you
Not
can't-
only do you have to tip us when you bring us pizzas, but we know certain things.
Yeah.
You know?
If you can't tell by his voice, he is a bass player.
Oh, yeah. And that's honestly the way that I chose to play the bass, because everybody was like, "No, man, you're a bass player." And I was like, "No, I want to play drums." And they're like, "No, but you're a bass player." And I was like, "Well, I want to play guitar too, though." They're like, "No, you're a bass player." And I was like, "Okay, I'm a bass player. I guess I'm fucking playing the bass."
And you're fire at it.
Oh, well, appreciate that.
It's a wonderful instrument. Incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that
It's
instrument.
not the easiest to play by yourself.
Same with drums.
That's
I
true.
get it.
That's truth.
Yeah, I don't know. I have more fun playing. Anyway. Anyway, Foul
us
Play, A Lady's Way, and The Forgotten.
Thug it out. Ooh, let go. Start us off, player.
All right, so I'm going to start this off with a little bit of an oddity, kind of an origin for baseball. A lot of people thought that it started in the 1800s when it actually started back in the Viking times.
Oh, wow.
A little Nordic game called Brandball. It's where the teams pitched to themselves. Bases were ran the opposite of today, and you could be tagged out by being pegged in the motherfucking head with a ball.
The Viking shit. Savage.
So, yeah.
Savage.
But but we actually know it coming from a more relative to modern day games.
Of course.
Were from like games of cricket and rounders that were started in Britain, Ireland, France, and Germany, kind of a deal.
Of course.
But even before then, I mean, it went back to the 1300s, and well, fuck, it went back to Nordic times. Yeah. But the more put together things even went back to the 1300s. Even some of the names of these games, though, that come from Britain, Ireland, France, and Germany are pretty funny. They have baseball, which is not baseball; it's separated.
Separated baseball.
Goalball,
Goalball.
which sounds more like what we would think of, like football or soccer.
Yeah.
Round ball, which is
ball. Okay.
quite redundant.
Yeah.
Fetch catch. Ooh.
Fetch.
That's my favorite so far.
Stool ball.
Okay, that's my new favorite.
Hey,
Simply base.
Hey, bro. Stool ball, bro.
Stool ball. Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a medical condition. Please go get yourself checked
When
out.
you're playing ball
if
on
you
a
got
squatty
stool
potty.
ball, my guy.
Stool ball.
That seems like
Stool
an
ball.
uncomfortable situation.
from the stool ball.
Yeah.
Don't go in that house over there.
See, that getting the phone in the bathroom with you is dangerous. You might get that stool ball.
Little Jimmy, what are you doing in the bathroom for so long?
I got that stool ball. Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
My God.
what most people think baseball came from, or who baseball came from,
All lies.
spawns back to A.J. Spalding and the Mills Commission. They claimed Abner Doubleday created baseball in Cooperstown, New York in 1839, which is funny enough.
Lies.
All lies, but it's also the site of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, which Admiral Abner Doubleday was actually inducted
Oh, word.
into this Hall of Fame that he had
as
nothing
the
to do
Creator
with at all.
is at West Point, right?
Yeah. He was at West Point, during the time of all of these claims, he was at West Point, and he claimed to have nothing to do with baseball.
And still got
he was
inducted.
just like, nah, baseball.
That's that
I'm a
old
soccer guy.
WP, boy.
Yeah.
That's that old white privilege.
Wait.
Anyway.
The first known published rules in the U.S. were written in 1845 for a New York City baseball, again separated club, the Knickerbockers.
Such a good name.
Yes.
Shouts out to the New York Knicks, who are the Knickerbockers now.
I know. I'm so glad that somebody kept the name Knickerbockers.
The Knicks is shortened. Or Knickerbockers shortened is the Knicks, Anyway.
Alexander Cartwright was the organizer of this club and was also known as the father of baseball, which was also incorrect.
Damn, I know facts.
He didn't write the rules. His vice president and secretary, William R. Wheaton and William H. Tucker, wrote these rules. So once again, falsities. Along with the New York City baseball style thing, there was also a Massachusetts style ball going around, which I think is a little bit more fantastic because there was no foul territory in their rules. So you could literally
just
chase and
people.
or lead people for miles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which led to them being pegged in the side of the fucking head with a
Right.
baseball. Because
'Cause
they
you
were
don't
like,
want dude mainly
Jerry's
go-
running. All right.
Yeah, keep on running, Jerry.
football, right?
I need you to throw
Sunshine,
that. Hey,
over
come
here.
on back over here, boy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, damn it. Last time Jerry got that, he ran 2 blocks away and hid behind a car.
He found some stuff we call PCP, and he ain't came out of that dumpster yet. This game's been going on for 4 fucking weeks.
I was about to say, these games had to be long as hell, bro, with no foul territory. Jesus Christ, bro. Like, what?
Ugh.
Oh, my God.
But anyway,
4 fucking weeks.
4 weeks, man, dude, shit the bed.
That's how they talked back in Massachusetts back in the day?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Those are
It was
facts.
not like, hey, Bobby, get on here. It was like, dude, shit the fucking bed,
Man, goddamn.
So it was actually opposite. Fun fact, you know, it was opposite in the South than it was in the North. If you've not watched Forrest Gump, can't sit here.
That's
Yeah,
true.
can't see it,
Good
yeah.
point. That kid came out of
saying.
nowhere.
Yeah,
Weird.
he was. Anyway, the main reason why
Christ.
baseball actually stuck and kind of is what it is today is because of the mafia and gambling.
Oh, yeah, the numbers
And-
runners, bro.
Yeah, and they gambled on everything they could in this game, so it essentially laid it into being a super staple of our economy.
Cities were built around where they built these stadiums at. Like,
Right.
cities' economies basically were formed around baseball. Like, even later when I talk about the Negro League, the black community was built
Yeah.
around these teams. Anyway.
Yeah, which in effect always came down to the monetary economy.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Of
where the money
of-
was. What's up? What's happening, world? This is Justin, Drew, and Grant from Friends, Facts, and Fiction podcast, and we're here to talk about Anchor.fm, the easiest way to make a podcast. Let's talk about it.
It's free.
It's free.
Uh-oh. They have all these creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will also distribute your podcast through Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I mean, anywhere you can really find a podcast, they'll throw it out there, bro.
And with no minimum listenership, they will also help you gain money.
Boom. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. I mean, download the free app right now, bro. What you waiting on? Let's
Do it.
go. Let's go.
Of that area.
Yeah, where the money gonna be at?
In 1866, first all-pro team was created. That was paid team, Cincinnati Club.
Cincinnati Club.
That's a real nice name.
Original.
No wonder Cincinnati
Oh, Rich.
baseball stadium is really close to the river. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think about
It is. It's right on the river.
that? Facts. Yeah. Interesting.
1876 and 1901, the league that we are more familiar with now came about. The National League was 1876, the American League was 1901, and their first World Series was in 1903, Boston versus Pittsburgh. No cool names or anything, but that was it.
Just Boston versus Pittsburgh. Huh?
Okay.
I'm
I'm gonna-
the Red Sox versus
I'm going to
the
end it up
Pirates
on
nowadays.
in the 1920s. There were two big things that were changed from this,
Yeah.
or not from this, that were the biggest changes up until this point.
Yeah.
And the ball had to be changed to white, and it had to be changed out every few innings because Carl Mays pegged a guy in 1920 named Ray Chapman in the head, and he died the next day.
Wow.
And it was
From
a
how
few.
soggy
It was a
the ball
few.
got, I guess?
Yeah, it was a few innings into the game, and they didn't really take that into fruition or anything. It was just like, oh yeah,
Same
keep
ball,
throwing the
whatever.
same ball
Yeah.
for.
That's not even wrapped in leather. It's just a fucking
Yeah,
cloth.
homeboy's still been in the dumpster for 4 weeks, so he's got that ball. That's gonna be terrible. You know, so they had to change
made
the
a pipe out
balls.
of that already.
Yeah, they had to change the balls, and this also, I mean, it probably had some kind of medical effects as well, and people started giving a shit and paying attention a little bit more. But
Yeah, of course, of course.
those were, the two biggest changes, other than what we see as today's baseball.
Of course.
Other than what my two colleagues here will bring to your.
Bring to your attention. So in the 20s, they changed the ball over and all that good stuff, and that's fun and exciting. But I'm going to take you back way back in the time to the forgotten, the Negro League. The first known baseball game between two black teams was held on November 15th, 1859 in New York City. The Henson Base Club of Jamaica, Queens defeated the Unknowns of Weeksville, Brooklyn.
Unknown.
The Unknowns, bro. They ain't even, it's like Untitled
Yeah.
by Kendrick. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And the score, bro. Check the score out. Probably because they didn't have foul lines and all that shit. 54-43, bro.
In
was the score.
baseball.
This is not football.
That
Bro.
is insane.
So the game probably lasted 4 weeks, so they couldn't find motherfuckers on base.
He was down the road still.
Homie been down the way for about 4 weeks, bro.
We're just gonna
keep
hold
playing,
his inning.
like,
We're gonna hold his
you
at
know?
bat. We're gonna keep going until he comes back.
And he just pops up
You're
by
like,
home
"Fuck,
plate, like, oop, gotcha.
40 something. Come on, guys.
Just pops up by home plate like 2 days later. Oop, gotcha. Like, didn't see me. So,
I do like that whole hide and seek aspect
bro,
of baseball. They
think
should bring
about that was
back.
today,
That'd be
bro.
fun.
Come on, that'd be wild. That'd be wild.
Almost
to
like
watch.
the Family Guy greased up deaf guy that shows up with a baseball.
Can't catch me.
Well, the first nationally known black professional baseball team was founded in 1885. 3 clubs combined: the Keystone Athletics of Philadelphia, the Orions.
Orions. Yeah.
There you go. Orions of Philadelphia. Facts, hot facts. And the Manhattans of Washington, D.C. merged with the Cuban Giants. The success of the Cubans, or the Cuban Giants, Cuban sounds a little derogatory, the Cuban Giants led to the creation of the first recognized Negro League in 1887, the National Colored Baseball League. It was organized strictly as a major league or minor league and founded with 6 teams. The Baltimore Lord Baltimores,
Okay.
that's the Baltimore Lord Baltimores. Hashtag J.K. Rowling. Boston Resolutes, Louisville Fall Cities, the New York Gorhams, Philadelphia Pythons, and the Pittsburgh Keystones.
Okay, these are good names.
Bro, they were out there back then.
Lord, Baltimore.
Baltimore, Lord Baltimore.
Hey, what is a Gorham, anyways?
Bro? Hey, listen, bro, it's different times, man. 1887. It's not 1987, kid.
They were all agoraphobias.
It was different. So the few players that play in these minor league teams, they're normally paid around white players, and they would always get all this verbal abuse and all this crazy attacks by fans and competitors. So there was this one guy that would march his team out in military style, and he demanded that blacks not play. And it literally caused this uproar from players and fans to say, yeah, they shouldn't play with us. You know what I mean? They're causing problems. And it's not their fault they're causing the problem. It's the fans and the people they're playing against. So at this point, it causes this separation. So by 1888, a middle state league was founded with only 2 black teams. So that poor funding. It's only 2 teams. It's not going to last long at all.
Right.
And I mean, it couldn't stay together.
Yeah.
But if you know, by the 1917, there's a war boiling a little bit, and that war is a catalyst for the reality that we have of the Negro League. And this war on April 6, 1917, the U.S. entered the World War I, and it literally brought all these people from the South to work at these plants and work at these programs, and it brought more black money, more black people to spend money. So it created a more environment for the Negro League to survive in. And by the end of 1919, everything was lining up for black ball to have a golden era. And on February 13th and 14th, 1920, talks were held in Kansas City, Missouri, that established the Negro National League and its governing body, the National Association of Colored Professional Baseball Clubs, composed of 8 teams: the Chicago American Giants, the Chicago Giants, the Cuban Stars, the Dayton Marcos, the Detroit Stars, the Indianapolis ABCs, the Kansas City Monarchs, and the St. Louis Giants.
Bunch of giants.
They were about the Giants when they got to the 1920s. So that's where they were at.
A couple ABCs in there, too.
But those are some of the great teams. But I just want to take a minute and talk about some of these awesome players that some are forgotten, some are remembered in the Hall of Fame. But these are a few cats that I love a lot. Satchel Paige. He's known for a 105-mile-per-hour pitch, the best fastball in baseball history. He's the oldest player to debut in the majors at the age of 42, and he helped the Cleveland Indians win their last championship in 1948, and he was inducted in Hall of Fame in 1971.
So he's throwing 105 mile-per-hour fastball in what?
1924 to 27, probably.
That's insane.
28.
I mean, it's incredible if somebody can
Actually,
do that
no,
in
from
the 2000s.
1925 to like 1940, actually. Yeah, because he went to the league eventually.
And he's throwing them soggy balls, too.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think, these cats didn't have no Tommy John surgery. He's just throwing his shoulder out every game, probably. Wow. His teammate, actually, Hilton Smith, had a curveball that some players that played with him said could fly around the whole room and still strike you out. It's just good as Satchel, but that curveball is crazy.
I love the imagery.
He had the curve. Satchel Paige had the fastball, man. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2001. One of my favorites, James Cool Papa Bell.
Cool Papa.
He was so fast, bro, that he could get in the bed before the light was out. That's what they said. And
That's so fun.
That's good dope. So this is an actual true story where Satchel Paige was sharing a room with him, and Cool Papa Bell figured out that the light switch in the room had a delay on it. So when Satchel came home from like being out at the bar or whatever to be in the room, whatever, he hit the switch and he'd go hop in the bed. Say, Satchel, but I'm in the bed for the light go out. You know, he'd hit the switch and go into bed. Like that was a running allure of him. Like he was so fast, they thought he made a shortcut from first base to third base, bro. Like he was that fast. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame in '74. Josh Gibson, one of the greatest catchers of all time, but also one of the best power hitters to ever play the game. On record, he has 900 home runs, but some historians say that could be over 1,000.
Jesus.
That's insane.
Yeah, because the records, of course, are kind of wishy-washy.
A little skewed there.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You think so?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit. At the time, he's the only player that hit a ball out of Yankee Stadium. He's inducted in '72.
Cool.
Oscar Charleston, another his left-hand power hitter, had a slugging percentage of .545, bro.
Damn.
And he was a player manager for most of his career on every team he was on. And he's inducted in 76. My favorite, though, and I'm probably in on this one, Reese Goose Tatum.
Oh, Goose.
Oh, goose.
By far the most entertaining player with the flair and the comedy, man. Like he was so entertaining with all his flair with the ball. He would do all these tricks with the baseball, and he would like act out when he got to base. He would like act like he was having a heart attack, and then get up and then hit a base run. Like he would do all this while, bro. He's so great. I mean, he was so great entertaining. The Harlem Globetrotters picked him up for 11 seasons, bro. After playing in the Negro League and being one of the best players in baseball of his time,
To go to
he
being
played
one
for the
of the
Globetrotters.
best basketball players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a very
Like-
different sport.
like bro.
It's like I'm just a hands down boss.
Yeah, it's
get
just
over
a
it.
beast, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of these teams, bro, back in those days, they would play 3 games in a day and play in 3 different cities.
Good Lord.
You know what I'm saying? And due to the uniforms being so thick in the day, like they made it wool super thick, they would just hang their uniforms out the bus. And like sometimes they get to these spots in coal mining towns that don't even have a diamond. They have to build their own diamond, bro. Build their own diamond. And then use the fans' cars as outlines for the outfield.
Good Lord.
Feel me? Like they were literally grinding every day, bro.
windshield
And then they still had those records.
Yeah,
I mean,
they still
can you
have these
imagine?
crazy records, but they're playing in shitty conditions, bro. They're literally using bags for bases. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
3 games a day in 3 different cities sometimes.
Yeah.
Like literally just riding in the bus in your underwear because you're letting your uniform dry out.
Well, some of these players, they say like when they got into the majors, because some of these players actually made it to the majors and got their respect and Hall of Fame, like I just mentioned. But a few players are like, yeah, when we got to the league and like these night games, we used to playing with headlights, bro. Like y'all got stadium lights. I can see.
I can see everything.
I can see everything. Like what? Like this is insane, bro. Like yeah, it's just crazy that time they live in, bro. But 2 of the best teams at the time were the Homestead Grays and the Pittsburgh Crawfords. And the Pittsburgh Crawfords were owned by Gus Greenlee, which is a mafia guy, old black dude that ran
yeah.
numbers, you see? So he built the first black stadium. He had like the first like black dynasty basically in baseball. And that team that he owned, the Crawfords, were so good they could have beat the 1927 Yankees, who were supposedly one of the best teams in history.
Right, that's what everybody always says. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Crawfords had a guy named Pepper Bassett that would literally, he was a catcher, and he would play in a rocking chair and catch pitches from Hilton Smith and Satchel Paige, bro. He would literally, they pull up rocking chair and they just be in the rocking chair just catching pitches. Like,
hilarious.
that's how good they were. But they were like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
yeah,
like,
basically,
like they were just wild. They were just doing their own thing, bro. Like that whole team had Coop Papa Bell, Judy Johnson, Oscar Charleston, Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson. I mean, arguably one of the best teams in like baseball history, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's crazy. But by the 30s, a lot of these famed players, they would go down to places like Mexico, Cuba, and Puerto Rico because they were actually free. You got to think, this is the 30s in America, bro.
Right, right.
These are black players that get no respect. You know what I mean? Like from
course not.
their counterparts. So they would go down there to get more money, they get more fame, they get more respect. And this forced teams to pay big players a lot more money. Like for instance, Josh Gibson came back and played for the Grays, who's originally on the Crawfords. He came back and played for the Grays because they offered him $2,500 to come play.
Back
and for a
then.
black man in the 30s, bro,
sure.
that's like, word, I'm coming back to it, homie.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
showing love. Like, I'm going to get that. So he came back, and it's like a lot of people say that like back then, the Grays could actually have beaten their counterparts, the Pirates, back in those days because they were that good. But, of course, by the Second World War, the Negro League reached new heights, man. They had bigger crowds. They had a bigger crowd that showcased their skills. So this caught the eye more so of these white people that all these players are off in World War II. They got these black players that are still balling out, like killing it. So all these odds are on these black players. So, of course, by 1945, you all know Jackie Robinson
Oh, yeah.
made history.
The only thing that you learn about
yeah.
anything about this in elementary school, at least
like-
when we were coming up.
And Jackie Robinson was a scrub to
That's
these,
the
to
only-
these G's.
Right, yeah,
Like, Jackie
for
Robinson was
sure.
like, this is a rookie, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, who is this guy?
Right.
Why does he get this?
And that's
Like,
the only name
we've been
that
out
I
here for years, bro.
recognize,
Yeah.
personally.
Like, I mean, bro, the homie I talked about earlier, Josh Gibson,
yeah.
the biggest bat in the fucking baseball, he literally would watch what Babe Ruth would hit. Like, oh, Babe Ruth hit 2 today, I hit 3. And he would go out and do it. Satchel Paige would say, I'm going to strike out at least 8 people. He'd go out and do it back to back to back. I mean, like, these cats were that talented.
Yeah.
But Jackie Robinson was a rookie to these guys. But it took Jackie to get in contact with Branch Rickey, or Branch Rickey in contact with Jackie Robinson, to be
Yeah.
honest. And he signed him. Given his debut went until 1947, but Robinson, he electrified these crowds on the Brooklyn Dodgers with all this racial ridicule by players and fans. But, of course,
Man, that had to be so hard.
bro,
Yeah,
all
right.
the shit that he got, bro, I highly advise you to go watch the movie 45. Such a great movie. Go watch that. It's about Jackie Robinson and what all he went through.
Cool.
But of course, with the Brooklyn Dodgers having all this hubbub about Jackie Robinson, they get more money, they get more attendance, they're seeing that money flow in, and all these owners that are like, the black players are not good enough, they can't do it. They're like, y'all make some money though. I'm starting not to really care about this green, this black color.
Right,
I'm
right.
really starting to see this green. So
Right.
this began that wave of black players coming into the majors. Cats like Willie Mays, Monty Irvin, Bob Thurman, all G's in baseball, bro.
Yeah.
And a lot of this Hall of Fame talent started to get shined on it. And even though some of these players gain fame and recognition, there's still some players that, get lost in history. You know what I'm saying? Ray Daniels, one of the best third basemen to ever live, bro, ever play the game at all. Josh Gibson that I mentioned, he died before he could get to the league, bro. He fell sick. And a lot of these greats, they either were too old or they got sick and passed away before they go to the league or even got looked at. But this whole situation of, white people picking up these black players to go play for these white teams, it created this bubble for black economy to fade away.
Yeah.
Because these stadiums, these teams brought all this money to black communities. It created this hub of thriving black communities that the funding was lost. I mean, for schools, for bars, for anything in that community was lost.
Sure.
And it literally, that kind of was the first creation of the ghettos and the slums.
crazy. You
of
never really think
America.
about that shit,
Bro, the baseball really started that vibe. Think about the Harlem Renaissance was starting to fade out at that time, and then Harlem became crazy with drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because that thriving of black success was not there anymore, bro. And we can talk about integration at a different.
That's a
episode.
whole other topic,
But that little bit of baseball integration really started to ruin these black communities, and it's pretty wild. But a lot of these cats, man, they got their fame and they got their recognition, and that's beautiful. But I just want to give a shout out to a few that didn't, who were some of the best players to ever touch a baseball. Cool Papa Bell, one of the fastest players to ever steal a base. He became a guard in City Hall in St. Louis, bro.
Jeez.
Samuel Bankhead, 7-time All-Star, 231 runs, bro. Became a garbage man in Pittsburgh. Buck Leonard, bro. 13-time All-Star, slugging percentage of .527. Became a probation officer in North Carolina. And that's just to name a few players, man.
That's crazy.
That were
That's terrible.
some of the most honored and respected players in black baseball that will ever live. Baseball, period. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And it wasn't really until 1971 that all these players got their Hall of Fame accolades. But
But it was only some of them still.
some of them still, I highly advise you to just check it out if you can, if you want to, if you're interested in it. But those are some of the forgotten of baseball, man. And it's just wow. It's my little rundown.
Cool. Well, I guess it's my turn to talk about the ladies.
The ladies. Bring up the ladies. There's no crying in baseball.
She was crying.
Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
So we are pretty clearly talking about the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which too long. Right. Which on all the little,
The
seals of
AAGPBL.
the GPBL.
They could have done a lot better job with that.
That is just. Anyways, that was a professional women's baseball league founded by Philip K. Wrigley, the chewing gum mogul.
Double mint was cracking.
Yeah, that's right.
Give you some juicy
From 43 to 54. In those 11 years, over 600 women played in the league, which eventually consisted of 10 teams, and they were all pretty much located in the Midwest. 1948 saw a league attendance peak at over 900,000 spectators.
Damn.
So this is something that they were just like, Mr. Chewing Gum guy is like, oh man, because of World War II, we're losing all this money. And they were just still thought it was like a a sideshow sort of a thing.
Yeah,
Kind of like
yeah.
with the Negro League. Like they're
It's like, they play, but they can't play as good as us.
they're doing all these gimmicks and stuff like that to
it's
try
like-
and attract more people to
but
watch.
they're
and
not.
everything like that.
We're so good, we can do that.
Yeah.
That's what you're not
Yeah.
saying. We're so
Yeah.
good, we can do these gimmicks.
Right. And
That's facts.
and not just these women were incredible players as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The most successful
Some of the
team
best,
was the
actually.
Rockford Peaches. They won 4 championships in those.
They call them the Rockford Peaches, bro.
Rockford Peaches.
So there's a lot of misogynistic titles, I imagine.
Misogyny.
Okay. Right.
But that was the main team that was highlighted in a movie made in 1992. That at this point, I'm sure most of us are happily picturing right now. Called A League of Their Own.
That's right.
There's no crying in baseball.
Are you crying? Is she crying?
She ain't.
That's it.
Anybody ever
Is
tell
she
you look
crying
like
in baseball?
you ever look like
Shouts out to Tom
you ever
Hanks.
tell you look like a dick with that hat on?
Shouts out to 92 too. Damn, it came out in 92.
Yeah, 92. I thought it was.
Jesus
I thought it was
Christ.
I know, have fun.
Hey, we
a
old.
little bit younger than that. Obviously not.
Some may be surprised, some maybe not. That was a mostly fictionalized account of the early days. of the league.
So you telling me Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell lied to me, bro?
They did. Yeah,
I'll be goddamn.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't want to ruin anybody's childhood.
Obviously, you already fucking did.
Okay, well, in that case, allow me to continue.
I don't want
I
to.
trusted Tom Hanks up until now.
The roster of the Rockford Peaches was entirely made up.
And more bullshit.
Oh,
And
wow.
They did not even compete in that championship.
So-
I
all
like
his
that
faults.
is a historical goddamn document.
So I thought it was a documentary movie.
Right.
Nope, not even close.
Uh,
They didn't even
so-
compete in the first championship. That's like the climax of the movie and everything. Yeah, that-
Oh, okay.
that was actually the Racine Bells versus the Kenosha Comets.
Oh, comments.
One of the
Hey,
only-
we're moving.
Comets is nice.
Yeah, one of the only non-misogynistic
Yeah.
team names.
The Racine Bells.
I know,
Jesus
right?
Christ. Anyway.
But one part that is true that in World War II, when America finally got pulled in, most of the players were drafted, and a lot of them enrolled voluntarily as well. And that threatened the survival of the sport, because
Man, that's why Negro League survived.
it's true, actually.
Yeah. Straight up. But anyway.
Along with that, something that wasn't mentioned is that there was a lot of restrictions on team travel due to gasoline rationing, which I think is why it was all located in the Midwest, because it was shorter.
But they had Wrigley in the
trips and
pocket.
stuff.
He can buy all the gas.
That's true. He could
So
probably-
Wrigley was sugar daddy for all these cats. They
pretty much,
said
pretty much.
Hey.
Wrigley was sugar daddy for all these teams. Damn.
So,
The gas money.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got the
yeah.
gas money.
Oh, I
Don't
got
worry
your
about
gas
it.
money,
I got
baby.
the gas money. I'll put that light bill look
Put that
like.
lipstick on,
I
shut your
got
mouth,
you,
get
man.
out there and hit that ball.
Jesus Christ.
all these women were scouted from
Jokes. These are jokes.
amateur softball games across the country.
Yeah.
200 were invited to the Wrigley Field for tryouts, where only 60 would be selected for the roster. Just like the MLB at the time, it was also, quote unquote, informally segregated. So
Informally.
Okay.
these white women were selected for their skill, but also their wholesome feminine ideal. So
I'll see where this is going.
that means during spring training, the girls were required to attend Helena Rubinstein's evening charm school classes,
Sounds like something I can't afford.
which taught the proper etiquette for every situation and every aspect of personal hygiene, mannerisms, and dress code.
That
Was
sounds
all-
relative.
Was presented to all the players. I mean, it seems incredibly important. Think about it.
Well, it reminds me when I worked at Hooters for a spell. They have the chicks, like the women, they have to go to like training for like a week or two, like etiquette training
Here.
to work at Hooters. I'm like,
We
bro,
train
like,
you so a dude can just stare at your boobs.
I mean,
Like,
you're hot, cool, like just do your
yeah,
thing.
I know.
It's- Anyway,
And I mean, these are
I'm
athletes.
I'm a slide up
Slide
out
up out
of
of
there.
there.
All right.
Yeah, it's basically because I mean these are athletes. You know what I mean? They're not. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. It actually does matter, but we'll move on.
Yeah, definitely.
But in an effort to make each player as physically attractive as possible, they all received a beauty kit and instructions on how to use it. So not only are they required to have a beauty kit, but they're going to be mansplained on using said
like
beauty
at the
kit.
same time, they're playing a sport. Like
It's
they're
terrible.
not
To
play
they're
a
not
sport.
taking pictures. They're playing a sport.
I know.
kind of shit is anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Well, they couldn't cut their hair? What the fuck?
Oh
my
so
God.
the league had rules of conduct, right? The girls, quote, were not permitted to have short hair. They could not smoke or drink in public places. They were required to wear lipstick at all times. Fines for not following these leagues' rule of conduct were $5 for the first offense, $10 for the second offense, and then suspension.
And then fuck you.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's wild.
And even so, to the point where in 44, Josephine JoJo D'Angelo, who was a really good player, was fired for cutting her hair too short.
That's crazy.
And
Shouts out to JoJo the singer. She's still hot.
every team had a chaperone assigned to them.
A chaperone?
A chaperone.
Was it like
their
a nun or
children
some shit?
something.
Was it
Probably.
like a
I think
Christian.
I think a lot of
woman
them
or
were
something?
like pretty heavily involved in, religions, clergy people.
Clergy.
But their uniforms were modeled after field hockey, women's tennis, and figure skating uniforms at the time.
Figures?
Figure skating.
Yeah,
They're having these
that
ladies-
sounds safer sliding.
They realize these are two different sports.
Three different sports.
I mean,
applied to a fourth.
yeah. Like,
But it was a
yeah, and they're
belted.
sliding. Like they are.
I know they're sliding. Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
It was a belted short sleeve tunic dress with a slight flare of the skirt, and the rules stated that the skirts were to be worn no more than 6 inches above the knee.
That's crazy.
But that regulation was often ignored in order to facilitate running and fielding. But I also think ogling as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
of course,
But,
of
that's
course,
just
bro.
my own.
That's
thought.
and
Of course.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So it's basically, this just super quick thrown together one size fits all kind of a thing, and then they would just dye it a different pastel color for
They
the
just
team.
reuse the same dress.
Exactly,
Reuse
and
it,
then
reuse it.
just sew a little logo on the front that was most of the time based off of like the city seal or the little
Yeah.
town logo that they were playing.
like in League of Their Own with the little patch.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. The first season it was more of a hybrid of baseball and softball, like a lot closer to softball.
Was it bigger ball type? Ball?
Yeah, so it was a 12-inch ball, which is regulation softball size, where baseballs are 9 inches and a plus. And the pitcher's mound was only 40 feet from home plate, even closer than regulation softball. So they're taking these softball players, having them play baseball, and move the plate closer than it was in softball, and so much closer than in baseball. 25 feet shorter than in baseball.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It seems a little dangerous too. I mean, right
Yes,
off
it
the
does.
bat,
I don't think so
pitcher
too.
could
Yeah,
get
yeah.
killed.
I would also think so. But a couple of similarities. They had 9 players on the field, and they actually utilized a pitcher's mound, where in softball they pitch straight off the ground. But by 1948, the ball shrunk down to 10 inches and a little more, and overhand pitching was allowed.
Oh, moving
Yeah,
up.
so they're finally allowed to do something.
They moved the mound back too. Yeah.
And the mound was moved back to 50 feet. They got closer and closer to baseball. By the final season in 54, the pitcher's mound was moved back to 60 feet, and the base paths were extended to 85 feet between, which is still 5 feet shorter than regulation baseball.
Yeah.
But they finally get a chance to play at those requirement or the distances and everything like that
Yeah.
to show off that they
Yeah,
can actually
we
do
can do this.
Exactly. Yeah.
We need women leagues right now. What's going on?
I would probably watch that.
I would definitely watch that.
And on top of it, all the
That
teams were managed by men who either knew competitive athletics or were former major league players, in part to demonstrate to fans that the league was serious.
Like the figure, the face. You have
Yeah.
a face for something.
Yeah, you got to have a penis involved in order for people to take it seriously. You know what I mean?
P9 flow.
hot takes, man. I got these hot takes out here.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
A couple of players that were really pretty cool to me. One woman was Eleanor Callow Squirt. That's her actual last name, not an unfortunate nickname.
Oh, I'm gonna go and just slide.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and slide out that one real quick.
Anyway,
Hey.
She was a switch hitter and threw right-handed. She led the league in triples for 4 straight years and ended up with 60 triples in her career.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she started off slow in the home run category with none during her rookie season, but by the rest of her 8-year career, she belted 55 to top the all-time list. I mean, so that's
Damn.
they're knocking
That's
55
wild.
over the fence, and these are
regulation fields.
yeah,
Because
these are
they
fields.
just played in the old Major League
Exactly.
stadiums.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
which is super cool. Another one was Sophie Curies. She was the player of the year in 46. She only hit a 286, but she stole 201 bases out of
shit.
203 attempts.
She was quick. She was quick.
So she tried to
goodness.
steal 203 times, and she only failed twice.
No.
Yeah.
So awesome. She scored 119 runs, walked 93 times, and she had a fielding average of 973.
What?
Oh
bro?
my God. That's
damn near perfect.
I know.
That's some video game
It's
shit.
literally
she
like creative player shit, bro.
She wasn't a heavy hitter, but if she made contact with the ball, she's scoring
she's
a
out
run.
here. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's getting in
At
there.
least stealing.
If she
a
gets
base.
on base, you good. Like,
Yeah,
get her on
exactly.
base.
She's literally
Yourself, your own base, she out
0.37
here.
away from perfect.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And she was an all-star year in and year out. One of the best players in the AAGPBL.
I don't like that much.
A lot.
But kind of how you're talking about homie that went on to be in the Harlem Globetrotters. She was also really good at basketball, tennis, swimming, and riding.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, Renaissance woman.
And all of that athletic ability also let her really kind of show out in track and field.
Oh, if
and
she's
everything
stealing that
like
many bases, you gotta be quick. Bro. Like, yeah,
Right,
of
obviously so,
course.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
She set a lot of the offensive records for the league and for professional baseball in general that still stand today. I mean,
Oh, she
that's
still has
it's crazy.
records in professional baseball today.
Yeah.
And apparently they're offensive.
That's gangster.
Yeah, because a lady did it.
Wild times in the ghetto, man. Jesus.
And there's one final one. She was great or whatever. She wasn't in like a all-star or broke records or anything like that. But I just loved her so much that Netflix released a documentary about her. Terry Donahue. She was a catcher for the Peoria Red Wings. But the Netflix documentary is called A Secret Love, and it chronicles Donahue's ultimately 72-year relationship with her wife, Emma Marie Pat Hinchell. The couple actually got married in 2015 on Donahue's birthday.
Bro, I think I popped up
that's
over
cool.
here to do some research for the podcast one night.
we were
and you and
watching
your
that.
wife Grace was watching that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
They are
this is interesting.
absolutely adorable, and
This is great. I highly recommend you watch it.
It's really cute. But
tugging your heartstrings. It's
she
ladies
she
just
carries
like
around
stealing
her
love.
old
It's beautiful.
baseball trading cards in her purse and everything like that.
That's
And,
dope.
You know, just a little tottering, super old lady.
She was just signing for like,
We
fans and
mentioned
shit,
that
too?
she used to play in the league, and people like, oh, that's really cool. And then she would even go as far as pulling out one of these old trading cards and just to watch
sign it
people. I
off.
mean, it's in the documentary a couple of times where people's eyes light up, and she signs it for them and gives it to them.
That's
It's just such a-
crazy, bro.
That's pretty
That
awesome.
makes me want to find a little Terry and
That's
be like,
pretty
hey,
awesome.
let me
I know,
get one
right?
of those, shorty.
Because I mean, most of
That's
the time
awesome.
you expect, somebody to pull out like a Werther's original, but she's pulling out a trading card from back in the day. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's fucking dope, bro.
Look at the ankles on grandma.
Tell you what, I heard thugging. Well, I mean, facts, friends, facts, and fiction, bro.
Yeah.
We out here with some more hot facts, and I'm with my friends. This feels nice. But yeah, that's our baseball episode. It's crazy that we're covering sports, and we're probably gonna cover some more sports eventually in the future.
Yeah, we will at some point.
Let us know what you think about this episode, and if we miss any facts, please email us. But foul play, a lady's way, and the forgotten. That's what you just heard.
And a quick thing, we just set up a little donation kind of a
the
deal.
donation
or whatever.
thing, man. Drop the
It's
facts
on
on
our
that, bro.
on our social media. You can click on a link. It'll send you over to
Anchor.fm.
Anchor.fm is the wonderful little easy to use website that disseminates it immediately, basically. For us, if you want to
wanna give us some
subscribe,
money.
that'll help us keep paying the bills while we take time off of work and or our personal lives to record these things and research this stuff.
Yeah, we're doing this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're entertainers. This is for y'all because we love y'all. And yeah.
A little bit for us too.
Any little bit counts, man. We love y'all to death,
Yeah.
and any little bit counts. And if you want to email us with your crazy childhood injuries or any crazy football stories you got, baseball stories you got, or basketball stories,
Or
any-
pertinently baseball, but
Yeah.
any sports
any
stories.
sports story you
That'd be
got.
fun.
It might help us do another.
Or even if
episode.
you guys have an idea for an episode. You
Yeah,
might be
exactly. That's
interested
what I'm
in,
saying.
That'd be
Any
pretty dope.
episode, anything you want to know about, any facts that you think is dope to talk about, please email us, friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com. Email us, let us know what you think, all your good stuff, all the fun things. But this has been another episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. And I'm Justin Hammonds, and I'm telling you to live life, because it's worth living, y'all. Feel me?
That's good. I like that one. I'm just going to have to say to everybody out there, I never liked you. I always loved you.
And I will sign off by saying, be kind, stay informed, and make a difference.
Boom. And this is Friends, Facts, and Fiction. We out.
Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on everything Friends, Facts, and Fiction. Our Instagram handle is friends_facts_fiction. As always, please reach out to us. You can send any of your questions, praise, and fact-checking to friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com. It's important to us to only propagate the truth, and we will correct any errors we may have made. This has been a production of Friends, Facts, and Fiction.